Hey everyone, Mrs. B here. I'm going to just do a quick little video to discuss the concept of multiplication so that you can help the kids at home. What I want to kind of just quickly explain to you is what multiplication is and the different strategies that we use to apply multiplication. When we are dealing with multiplication, we're talking about taking equal groups of things and combining them to come up with a total. What I try to drill into the kids is that when we're looking at a multiplication problem, we're dealing with two factors and a product, which are the vocabulary terms they're expected to use. The first factor I always tell the kids to think of as the number of groups that they have. The second factor I remind them is the number that are going to be placed in each group so that at the end they can come up with the total number of objects together. Some of the strategies that I teach them when they're coming up with the answers to multiplication problems is to draw an array using columns and rows. I normally use either dots or stars, circles, to kind of help demonstrate that. I use equal groups through either drawing the groups or creating bar diagrams, which they'll use throughout the entire year. The concept of repeated addition and the concept of skip counting on a number line to help determine the multiples of those particular factors. Hey guys, Mrs. B back here again. So now I'm going to demonstrate the different strategies to solving a multiplication problem. The first strategy I'm going to show you is how to draw an array. Now, as I said, an array creates equal groups in columns and rows for the students to be able to visually count the number of items in each group to come up with the total. So using the multiplication number sentence 3 times 5, in order to find the product, what I teach the kids to do, let me just tilt that down, is to draw 3 rows with 5 in each row. So 1, 2, your 3 rows, and you want to make sure that there is a total of 5 circles in each row. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 3 rows with 5 in each row. In order to find the product, what I do is I remind the kids that you want to make sure that your rows are separate and that they are the columns are each lined up. What some of the kids have a tendency to do is draw them too close, so when they go to count to find the product, they end up coming up with the wrong answer. So make sure that it's nice, neat, the columns are straight, the rows are straight, and then at this point all they would do is count each dot to come up with the product. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. So 3 rows with 5 in each row would give you a total of 15 counters, which we also use the counters in class to create them on the desks. This is just a visual way for them to be able to quickly do it on paper. All right, so the next strategy I'm going to demonstrate is the concept of equal groups. Keep in mind that I told the kids previously to think of the equation as 3 groups with 5 in each. Now, there's 2 different ways that you can demonstrate this. The easiest way for them is to just quickly draw 3 groups. 1, 2, 3 groups, and then to place 5 in each group. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Some of the kids, because they are really great with skip counting, they will also do the number 5 in each, which in this case they would count 5, 10, 15, or 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. To also help them later on, I model using the concept of bar diagrams. A bar diagram is the same exact concept, just separating it into the whole. So in order to demonstrate the whole product, you're going to take your bar, which is your whole, you're going to separate it into 3 groups, 1, 2, 3 groups, and you're going to place 5 in each group. Again, you can do it either way like this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. In this case, they would just add them all up to come up with the total that goes above the bar, which in this case, again, would be 15. So for the concept of repeated addition, you're still going to use the factors. There's 2 different ways that it can be written. You can add the first factor up the number of times the second factor is, or you can do the reverse. In this case, I can take the number 3 and I can add it up 5 times. 3 plus 3 plus 3 plus 3 plus 3 to help me find my product. Or I can take the number 5 and add it up 3 times. 5 plus 5 plus 5 to get the same exact product. In this case, 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 5, 10, 15. So in this case, it just represents 3 times 5 as 15 by showing that you can add that same exact number up the opposite number of times. One thing that I do stress with the kids is when we are doing repeated addition, I do mention that you can alternate these factors, which helps later on when we're dealing with fact families for multiplication and division. So the last strategy that I'm going to demonstrate is the concept of skip counting. Normally when I teach the concept of multiplication, I start off with the use of a number line to demonstrate how you can create those groups. With the number line that I have here, I only had it go up to the number 20. So what's going to happen is we're going to make 3 groups of 5. So I'm going to start off at my 0 point, and I'm going to count 5 spaces over. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. In this case, I'm going to put a second dot, and I'm going to connect them with a hump, and that represents my first group. I'm then going to do it again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Connect it, my second group. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Connect it, my third group. Since I'm representing this as 3 groups of 5, 1 group of 5, 2 groups of 5, 3 groups of 5. In order for me to find my product, I'm going to look at to where my last dot on the number line landed, which is the number 15. All right, so that concludes our little video on how to apply multiplication strategies to multiplication problems. The main purpose of these different types of strategies, if you notice, is we all ended up coming up with a product of 15 for each different strategy. A lot of the times when kids are learning multiplication, it's a lot of repetition and practice of memorizing the facts. However, if it comes down to a point where they're in the middle of a test or they're taking a quiz or they're working on homework at home and they struggle with being able to determine the answer or they can't quickly recall the fact, these are just some things that they have in their back pocket to kind of pull out and help them arrive at the correct answer.